asking you, what can you guys do as players off the ice that maybe fills in some of the blanks of practice on ice would offer?
Hey, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, at the start of the question there, my mind immediately went to the Allen Iverson "we talking about practice" clip. So that's pretty good. But I'm not gonna go down the same road and repeat it. But no, I mean, I think it's important to try to stay sharp. I mean, obviously, like in this last 9-day block, I mean, I think for myself personally and a lot of the guys, the last practice day we had was the Sunday before traveling to Toronto and then playing the back-to-back. And after that, any day in between games was an off day, recovery day, to try to prepare. So I think, try and use the morning skate. For myself, I'm a guy that I like taking the day off in between in terms of skating and then skating in the morning skate. There's some guys that like to skate and then take the morning skate off. So it's sort of just whatever your routine is. But, I found even just getting an activation going on the off day, trying to get some, the central nervous system going a little bit, get some sort of explosive movements. Doesn't have to be very much, but just to try to stay sharp physically and keep the body ready to go. I think the tendency coming out of an off day sometimes, if you just do nothing at all, is you feel a little sluggish. So that's been working for me, trying to get in a little bit of a workout, working with Jake Wolf. And a lot of guys are doing similar things. So, I think just trying to get in the routine and then using the practice time we have effectively, today and tomorrow, trying to stay sharp and continue to work on the things that make us successful. And obviously, there's going to be guys missing practice with injuries and little things. That's normal in a season, and especially with this many games. So bottom line is stay sharp when you're out there and try to do all the little things to recover.
We'll go next to Kelly Moore from CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, Josh. Is there, on my scorecard, I've got a 3-3, the number 1 power play unit and the number 2 power play unit for the 6 goals scored so far. Is there a friendly competition that's taking place? And do you guys have any positive trash talk going on between the 2 units?
Hey, Kelly. I mean, I don't think there's any trash talk really. I mean, obviously both units want to be successful and for our team to be as successful as they can be. I mean, we need both units going and both units scoring. And I think, that's what a good power play is. I mean, we've talked a lot of this year about being dangerous, more dangerous on both units, having the opportunity to, on a night where one or the other isn't scoring, the other one picks them up and scores. So, that's really what makes the difference. I mean, if you look at a night where maybe you go 1 for 4 on the power play and, either of those units, one of them isn't going, but the other one picks them up with a goal, that's still 25%. That's a pretty good statistic over the course of the season on the power play. So, of course, we're both competitive and, whoever is going, we've got some guys moving around different things. But it's been great to have depth on the power play and some different looks and both units I think are really moving in the right direction.
Go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weeb.
Thanks, Dreger. Afternoon, Josh. Got a few different partners already, but what was it like to have the same partner for 3 games in a row? And what'd you see with the grouping with Dylan in those last 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of nice to have some consistency for sure. We've got a lot of great players and, I always enjoy playing with different guys. We've got such a different array of talents on our blue line, different types of players. And, it's a challenge that as a player, you have to be ready to go no matter sort of what the lineup is, and change is inevitable during the season. But it's nice to have that consistency. I thought, especially for Mello, I mean, he came in the game against Ottawa and that was his first game of the year. So, I thought in the first period we were kind of getting going, and then after that we were pretty good the rest of the way, and we've been getting more comfortable with one another. He's a very smart player. He's easy to read off of. Sometimes in the D zone, I think one of my strengths is being aggressive and attacking defensively with my stick and trying to be aggressive, like skating wise to go after their puck carriers at different places in the D zone. So it's sort of nice to have I guess his smarts, and I think he reads off of me well, and we sort of work together well in that defensive idea. So I think we've been getting better, and it's nice to have a little consistency there. But obviously, like I said, got lots of great players, and I enjoy the challenge of playing with different guys as well.
And we'll go next to Brian Munz from TSN 1290. Go ahead, Munzie.
Hey, Josh, just first impressions on Cole Perfetti getting his chance to skate with an NHL club for the first time today.
Hey, Munzie. Yeah, it's fun to see him out there. Young guy, obviously coming off the World Juniors, and it's the first time I actually got to meet him was today with all the different protocols and stuff like that. So it was nice to say hi to him, and just nice to see him out there. It sort of brings back memories of my first opportunity to skate with the big guys, and he looked pretty good. You can see the skill and the ability, and obviously I don't know if he's been skating a lot or not, but he looked pretty darn good either way. So nice to see him out there, and I'm sure it was a big thrill for him, and you can see all the attributes as to why he's was drafted where he was, and there's so much excitement about him.
Go next to Murat Tatesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Hi, Josh. I've never asked you your opinion on the drop pass or the double drop pass. In terms of power play entries, it seems to be something everybody's a little bit passionate about. What are your thoughts on the famous drop or power play entries in general?
Hey, Murat. It's a good question. I think some of it depends on personnel, who the players are that you have. And their skill sets, and sometimes it really is also dependent on the kill. I think there's, it's successful. Like we've seen the fast breakout or sort of more traditional power play breakout, anything that's not a drop pass, if you will, be successful for us. I think we've seen the drop pass be successful, either a double or a single drop. There's different reads there depending on the score of the game, maybe also depending on, like I said, who you're out there with and the way the other team kills, whether they try to get underneath you, as a defenseman carrying the puck up, if they try and jump behind you, then perhaps there's room to skate and keep going. But then that's maybe where you maybe would want a single drop. So you'd have an outnumbered 4-on-3 if they get underneath. So there's lots of different things that go into that decision. Sometimes it's nice to switch it up within the game, but I think both have been effective. I don't know the numbers exactly on percentages of entries under control, let's say with either one. But I think both can work, and it just depends on like I said, the penalty kill and the players you have and what you feel is working for you.
Just a couple more. We'll go next back to Jeff Hamilton from the Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Josh, just to go back to practice, and I appreciate you picking up that AI reference. I feel a little less ridiculous, but with the limited time on ice practice, what do you think is the most important part to work on, and what do you need individually out of practice?
Well, I think it sort of depends on after each game. One of the things that was my focus in practice today was really focusing on stick on puck. I think again, you can kind of watch your shifts and watch your game and see some trends. In the first couple games, I felt like I was a little bit excited to jump up, and so I tried to calm that down a little bit, just coming out of our own end, stay underneath puck support. today again was focusing on trying to have stick on puck and just really focus on that defensively in our own end. And it's amazing how many times you can knock pucks down or get a deflection on it. And I think that's a strength of my game, but I just felt like I wanted to sharpen that up a little bit today after watching the last number of games on video. So yeah, I think it just depends. I mean, maybe I don't know, if you're a forward, you're working on a specific shot that you've been getting, but you haven't been hitting it properly in the game, or certain things like that you just kind of want to fine tune and dial in shots from the point, whatever it is. So for me, I like to have sort of one little thing each game that I'll focus on and in the practice the next day.
And last question to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Thanks, Josh. Just a quick one on Logan Stanley, what you've seen from him, and also as a fellow first-round pick. Curious if you had any discussions about kind of handling the glare of that comes along with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can hear me right now because he's not too far away in the room. So I don't know if I should pump his tires too much or not. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a big fan of Stan as a guy and as a player. I feel like his development has been fun to watch. He's a great kid. Obviously, I think he's really coming into his body physically, and he moves so well for a big guy, somebody that size. You don't have to cover as much ice as somebody who's quite a bit smaller, but he does it pretty well. And he has a long stick. He has a mean streak, and I think he really understands his game, and he's constantly trying to learn. He asks me questions about things, different guys' questions, and when he's been in the game, I think the big one is he's been a gamer. He's brought his game, and he's played really hard. So, I feel like we're all on our own trajectories in terms of our development, and there isn't maybe a set pattern. I know, like, even I experience it as well. Being a first rounder, you get drafted and it's like, hey, I'm making the team this year. Let's go, as an 18-year-old. And, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then as a 19-year-old, it's the same thing. And as a 20-year-old, it's the same thing. And, it took me until the fourth training camp to, I guess, make that jump. And so everyone's on their own path, and he's just been continuing to get better. And, he loves the game, he loves to learn, and it's fun having him in the room. And I've been really enjoying watching his growth.